Well, that's certainly a change of location. Hello, and welcome to Saturday. Now, starting things off, yes, I actually decided to move the ROG up to my desk rather than where it used to be, which was over there. Then there's a huge reason for it. For one, it's quite literally my second PC. So I figured probably having it at the desk with my other PC makes a lot of sense. And two, because I constantly switch between the Steam Deck and the ROG, having to not get on the floor every time I want to do that is probably a smart move. And I have the space for it on my desk, so I figured might as well. The other reason for this is actually pertaining to the Steam Deck. The more Johnny and I have been using it for not Chrono Trigger, Secret of Mana, I've noticed that the Steam Deck's software has gotten really slow. And I don't know if it's just due to my Steam Deck in particular, but the thing runs really slowly. Like, just switching from desktop, or from the big picture mode to desktop mode, it takes like a good few minutes. And even then, like, a lot of the emulators aren't working properly. And even then, some emulators have just stopped getting support. And that's important for my setup in particular, because I actually use the Steam Deck for my emulation games. And some emulators are no longer being supported on Linux. A great example is DuckStation. The developer of DuckStation has confirmed he is no longer releasing updates on Linux because it's too hard to develop on. So while Johnny and I have been playing Secret of Mana, we've been talking about it, and it's just gotten a little more frustrating to use the Steam Deck. And we realized the ROG is just the Steam Deck, but better. Why don't we just use the Steam Deck or the ROG, not just for console game or PC games, but also for ROMs? You know, the setup that we have is the exact same. Why are we forcing ourselves to use the Steam Deck when the ROG is just better and it's more supported? So I think we're still going to use the Steam Deck just for Secret of Mana, and then once we finish it, we're going to move on. But I do think for like collection clearing, I am just going to start using the ROG. So having it over here and having everything more easily accessible, especially the hard drive bays, because right now I have both in there. Unfortunately, once I finish archiving Xbox, I am going to have two hard drives for ROMs. So I'm either going to have to get a bigger bay or, I don't know, figure something out. Just kind of a little project that I just finished doing. I figured that having the ROG up here with everything else is just, it's a better choice. Now, the other reason for it is actually to do with peripherals. Now, I've been using this wireless mouse as well as a wireless keyboard ever since we got the Steam Deck. And while they're good, they don't work very well if the systems are over there. Like, they almost never work. I don't know if it's just due to the fact that they're cheap and the IR sensors are horrible. But yeah, they just don't work when the systems are over there. So moving it up on the desk actually makes the systems work. So now I can go back to using the wireless keyboard and mouse, and they actually function. So, I don't know. I don't know how long I'm going to keep this setup over here, but I like it. I actually really do. I like having the ROG here. I always just kept the ROG at my desk anyways, because I like to just be able to pick up and use it whenever. So I think being able to pick up and use it whenever, but also the dock is just right here. So all I have to do is just plug it in, turn it on, hit a button on my TV, and bam, you're playing the ROG. Like, whereas over there, I have to like pull everything out. I have to do all this stuff. So I think it's going to be better having it over here, but time will tell. Now, as for the rest of the day, it's about 7 p.m. For context, I'm on call for my day job, meaning that if there's any sort of emergencies with specific accounts that we work with, I'm the person to handle said emergencies. I did actually work a little bit while, just today, not anything crazy. I had to do like some mandatory training course that I just don't have time to do in the office. I was getting paid for it, so I did that for like an hour and a half. But other than that, I haven't done a whole lot. I scheduled some vlogs, and I'm actually going back and working on my Jack's video script because I've got some projects that I really want to work on, and I want to take advantage of the fact that I'm not streaming, nor am I recording tomorrow. And the reason for that is because I'm on call. I need to be able to answer my phone whenever, and if, for example, I'm streaming, it's going to be hard to answer the phone and handle something like, that's super important. So I think I'm going to continue working on the Jack's video. Johnny and I actually did try playing Secret of Mana. We played a couple hours of it, but Johnny got really tired, so he's taking a nap. So yeah, I wish I could give a Secret of Mana update, but he's not here for that.